Alrighty, so we were having a delightful conversation with Tommy in Florida, who said he is, I believe, fantastic today. So Tommy.
Yes.
What makes you so fantastic today?
Several years ago when I began watching you on the TV on the Fox network at the encouragement of one of my friends, I went through, let's say, an awakening. I took the red pill and I woke up from being a liberal, and I began to do research. One of the things that really hit home with me with what you said is always do your homework. Never believe what I tell you, what anybody else tells you. Just do your homework. And from that point, it just every day, every week, every month, things just have gotten more and more incredible. I've been to 2 Tea Party rallies. I've met many people at the Tea Party rallies that are like myself, that are kind of fed up with the whole system as it is with Democrats and Republicans, and we want to change. And I was, despite the fact that I am, used to be a liberal, and I am a registered Democrat, as well as being gay. I also voted for Mitt Romney in the last election.
Whoa! How long is this taking you to make this transition?
Well, it started when I first started watching you. One of my friends told me, you need to check this guy out on Fox. He really is spot on with a lot of what he says, and he is one of my really good friends who happens to be straight. And I watched you, and a lot of things you said hit home with me. I went to the Tea Party rallies. I started researching and did background research on Spooky Guy, aka George Soros, and going to Tea Party rallies. I went to one of the big rallies here in Central Florida several months ago, and it's just been a constant process and a constant evolution of what I used to be.
How have your liberal or gay friends reacted to your change?
Well, what's funny is I wound up actually meeting a lot of my liberal and gay friends that are actually more on the conservative side than the liberal side.
Weird, because we were just talking about this the other day. Yeah. I think that many homosexuals are a lot more conservative than they may.
I think they are. You don't even have to categorize. I think Americans are.
Yes.
But what's happened is.
But all these special interest groups that have been catered to by Democrats. If they really knew what Democrats stood for, if they paid attention and did their own research like Tommy's done, they'd find out they much more agree with conservatives.
And what's happened is conservatives and particularly the Republican Party, which I think is worthless, they have so muddled the message, and so I don't even know what they stand for, and I don't like what they stand for, quite honestly, most of the time. We have a growing number of people on both the left and the right, Democrat and Republican, that are saying, I don't want anything to do with either of those. I want freedom. I just want to be who I am. Whether that's straight or gay, religious or atheist. I want to be who I am. It goes back to what happened in Michigan with the labor unions. How can a state that votes for Barack Obama all of a sudden say, we want to be a right-to-work state? Because it is couched in freedom, liberty, individual liberty to pursue your own happiness. And I'm telling you, we can make all kinds of allies because we're not that different from each other. Tommy, I don't care what you do in your bedroom, and I'm sure you don't care. And you're a smart man. You probably don't want to even think about what's happening in my bedroom. And so, you don't need to agree with that so wholeheartedly.
No comment.
Yeah, okay.
He's throwing up a little bit in his mouth right now.
Everybody is. My wife is. Yeah. But anyway.
Wait, are there M&Ms involved in that? Or?
I don't need this from you, Tommy. I could get this from anybody.
No, I'm just kidding, but I really do respect you a lot, and thank you for opening up my eyes. I reconnected with my great uncle up near Georgia. That he knew about me, but nothing has ever been said. But this man, we talked about everything from politics to religion to global warming. He went through the hurricane of 35 in Florida, and he also he was one of 3 mechanics that General Eisenhower let work on his, General, then President Eisenhower, let work on his plane in World War II. He lied about his age to get into the military and married my great aunt before he left to join the military. He taught Muammar Gaddafi how to fly a helicopter at one of the military bases up in the Panhandle of Florida. I mean, he's seen everything. He's traveled the world. And he told me, he said, son, he said, your great uncle, he said, my daddy, he said, told me years ago that I should vote Democrat, and he tried to force me to vote Democrat, and I told him, he said, how did he put it to me? He told me that, Daddy, I'm going to vote for who I want to vote for, and it's not about the party, it's about the person. And it's amazing hearing him talk about everything else and talking about the hurricane of 35. And I went back and did research and found out that the barometric pressure of the 35 hurricane was actually lower than Hurricane Andrew, which is South Florida, back in the 80s. And if global warming is actually true, then we would be on the category 10 or 15 storms by now. But of course, it's not true either. So everything goes in cycles. So it's been a constant awakening process the last several years, and you've changed my life for the better. And I just want to say thank you so much.
Gosh, man, that is the best Christmas gift I could receive. Thank you so much, Tommy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate your call.
Thank you.
You bet. Sometimes, especially after the election, and I know you feel the same way, that you wonder, gosh, I wasted my last 4 years? What have I done? I mean, did it make any difference? And to be able to hear just from one person that yes. And I want you to know that we may not know each other, but I feel like we do, and I may not know your name or your face. But I feel, it's, again, from The Hobbit, Gandalf was asked, why the halfling? Why the Hobbit? Just an ordinary person, just ordinary, doesn't do anything. He's been sitting in his house making tea.
His name's Bilbo.
Yeah, I mean, really?
Really? And they're sending Bilbo.
Right, so why the halfling? Why the halfling? And he said, maybe it's because he gives me courage. And may I say the same thing to you? My strength comes from God and you knowing that you are there, knowing that you read the stuff that we work so hard on, that you watch these things, and then seeing it turn, seeing things actually happen because of it. We have somebody on the phone from Houston we're going to get to in a minute who, we started talking about this horrible education thing, it really frightening Agenda 21 kind of stuff that's happening in Houston, and then this education thing called Cisco that'll just boggle your mind. And there's a story out today that the school district in Houston has now hired, let me read this, Region 10's Director of Instruction ended up at Monday's work session fighting through a chest cold to reassure the school board. The director said she hired a very socially and fiscally conservative formal social studies teacher who, quote, watches Glenn Beck on a regular basis to seek out any Islamic bias in Cisco. So you've made a difference. You've made a difference. Now, I don't know anything more other than this story, but we have somebody, I don't know if it's the same person, but connected to this story. We'll talk to her in just a minute. You give me courage, and I thank you.